Hello YouTube, Spade here, and wow, what a battle this was. My hands are still shaking. This was against MadAsMoody from YouTube, and it's for the TheKillerNacho's Monocolor Tournament round 5. And please check out Moody's channel. He's a great battler and narrator, and he's Irish, so he has an awesome accent, and he really deserves more subs. And it was funny, I'm from Finland and he's from Ireland, so finally I got to battle someone who's from Europe in this tourney. But anywho, this was a pretty long battle, so let's get started. Green versus red. He leads off with an electrode, I lead off with my Scizor, and predicting the taunt I go for EQ, but he predicted that and he goes into Latias. And now I just go for the safe crunch, but he predicted that also goes in the Scizor. And now I was predicting the bullet punch, but he goes for superpower and destroys my Scizor. If only I have had max speed Scizor, I would have outspeeded and went for fire punch, but fail. So now I lose my Scizor, which sucks. He switches into Latias to take the hidden power fire with my Politoed, so I have to switch again. And I go into my special wall, which is Venusaur, and he goes for Calm Mind. Whoa, after turn effects. So now he switches into Electrode as I go for Lead Seed. And I was predicting the explosion, so I went for Protect, but he goes for Light Screen. So I was like, wow, he's reading me like a book. Now I switch into my Bronzong, but he goes for Taunt, so I will have to switch again. This is looking really bad for me. This electrode is causing me a lot of problems. So now I switch into my Politoed, he switches also into Vileplume, and I really don't want to take any grass type attack or sleep powder, so I switch into my Shaman. And he also switches, he goes back into Electrode. And now I was figuring he might explode, so I went for Rest. But he doesn't, so that sucks. So now I switch again, I go into Politoed as he goes for Light Screen again. And now he went for Explosion, but I have Damp, so that was perfect. I go for Ice Beam, and after the Sandstorm the Electrode goes down. So finally I get rid of the annoying Electrode. He goes into Scizor, I go into Bronzong, and he goes for Choice Banded U-turn, and that does a shitload. And now he goes back into Vileplume, and he goes for Sleep Powder, but misses, so I get my Stealth Rocks up. And that miss kinda sucked for him. So I just decided to stay in and leave Bronzong as a Sleep Water. I could have gone for the Shaman with Natural Cure, but his first Sleep Powder missed, so it just kind of felt right to stay in. So I go into my Venusaur, he sets up the Sunny Day, and he goes for Hidden Power Fire. That would make sense. So I set up a sub. I'm just trying to stall out the sun here. And I managed to protect again, so that's good. And third time of course fails, and he breaks my sub, but the sun fades away, so I switch into my Flygon, and he sets up the Sunny Day again. So I just wanna go for Flamethrower because the sun is up, but he switches into Latias. So I have to switch again, and I go back into my Venusaur, and he goes for Dragon Pulse, but it doesn't really do anything. So he predicts my lead seed goes back into Vileplume, who totally walls me. So I have to switch again. I go into Flygon, he goes for Grass Knot, predicting my switch, and yeah, it actually does a lot. So now I go for a U-turn, but he stays in. So I switch into Shaman, he goes for Grass Knot, but it does nothing, so that's good. And now again predicting the switch, I go for Lead Seed, and that was pretty good. He goes into place again. And now I just have to Death Fodder my Bronzong, and he goes for Overheat, but thanks to Heat Proof I survived that, and seeing the damage, this thing must be Choice Scarfed, because if he was Specs that would have definitely KO'd me. So now Bronzong goes down after the second Overheat, and now I go into Politoed. And I predicted the switch into Vileplume or Latias, so I went for Ice Beam, so that's good. The Vileplume goes down, and now it goes into Scizor, and I really don't have anything to take any Scizor's attack, so I stay in an Ice Beam, and he destroys my Politoed with Choice Banded Superpower. So now I go into Venusaur and set up the lead seed again. And he goes for Superpower, but thanks to the resistance and the attack drop, that's not going to be doing too much to me. So now after the lead seed and leftovers, I am able to set up another substitute on the switch, and he goes into Latias, which is okay. He goes for Calm Mind, and I'm going to set up my lead seed, and he's going to break my sub with Dragon Pulse, and I go for Toxic, and the combination of Toxic and Leech is really nice. That's going to wear down the Latias. And he goes for another Dragon Pulse, and I was hoping to set up another sub, but I'm too weak for that, so that sucked. And now I just go for Protect, like I should have done earlier, and I get some recovery again. And now I just try to Protect again, but of course it fails. Only 50% chance to do it again. So he gets another Dragon Pulse off, and Latias goes down, so that's good. He goes into Jinx. I'm just going to Protect to see what he's going to do, and he goes for Ice Beam. And yeah, since Ice Beam is stab and all, Jinx is really powerful special attacker. My Venusaur goes down, so I go into Flygon, U-turn out of there, and Jinx goes down, so that's good. So now it's 2-2. He goes into place again and misses the Overheat. That was really crucial, because now I just go for EQ, get rid of the place again, and he goes into Scizor, locks himself into Bullet Punch. But now I just go into my Shaman, and Bullet Punch really doesn't do anything, and I have HP Fire, so that's a good game. So yeah, that missing Overheat really cost him, but my Shaman could have taken -2 Overheat, so I might have had a chance to win, but I don't know, I wasn't thinking clearly at this point. So I guess he would have won, but who knows. So anywho, I advanced to the round 6. Yeah, it's 6 already. So thanks for watching, check out MadAsMoody, and I'll see you guys next time. Spade is out, peace.